It is time for the championship contest, the 2023 Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic. Columbia City and Jennings County winners in the morning session against Indian Creek and Lake Central meet for a spot of history and kind of indications to maybe what the 4A state championship might look like a couple of months from now. Tonight's game on the IHSAA Sports Network, presented by Visit Henry County. Take your shot at Henry County, Indiana. Visit hoopsandhenry.com for trip planning ideas. And by NLBC, Your Life Connected. Greg Rakestraw, Jane Schott with you. Coach, as always, it is good to be with you. And these are two teams that were very impressive in game number one today.
Most definitely. I'm excited to see the offensive output that we're going to expect, and really both teams are very well coached and excellent players on the floor.
Columbia City 13-2 on the season now. They are in 4A, but of note, their two losses have come to non-4A teams. Losing to a very good Norwell team by 1 on December the 8th. Got beat by Lures in overtime about 10 days ago by a score of 10. But as we mentioned in the previous game, the game that got everybody's attention around the state is when they thumped Hamilton Southeastern at Brownsburg on Thanksgiving weekend. Eagles won that one by 16.
Yeah, took notice. That's the thing. They're a team that's got a very talented player, but they're very, very well balanced. So that's something that they took it out of Hamilton Southeastern. You expect that kind of production today, going against the Michigan State-bound Julian Woodard from Jennings County. It's going to be a great matchup.
Jennings County has been good for some time, but they've had a geography problem. Yeah. They're right next to Bedford North Lawrence. Right. They play them in the same league. They play them in the same sectional. BNL, who won the state last year, has knocked Jennings County out of the tournament each of the last 5 years. And while this game is massive, I wouldn't blame Jennings County if they're already kind of thinking about Bedford North Lawrence, because they faced them on Wednesday. Yeah. What caught your attention from Jennings County in a 60-22 win against Lake Central earlier today?
Well, they were methodical in the way that they scored the basketball, and their defense was solid. They shared it very well. I felt like they just played one of their better games of the season. It seemed like they just really peaking at the right time.
There is always a scholarship presentation that takes place before the championship game, and this is one of the lucky recipients that is representing Lake Central. Faith Harrison is the winner of the scholarship for Lake Central, presented by the good folks here in Newcastle. And right now, let's listen to the performance of tonight's national anthem before the championship game.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Tremendous job by Todd York on the performance of our national anthem this evening. Time now for our starting lineups. They're brought to us by Virtual Announcer. Mic'd Up and Virtual Announcer bring you the complete game day audio experience. Mic'd Up now delivers Game 7 to your entire athletic department with our Virtual Announcer and DJ Mike Game Day Radio. Screened to ensure a family-friendly yet electric atmosphere. Mic'd Up will change the way you hear the game, feel the game, and experience the atmosphere. Contact Jake Hinson today for your demo at 317-649-3721 or email Jake at virtualannouncer.org. Again, Columbia City put up 75 points in the morning contest, and Addison Baker with 31 to lead the way for Columbia City.
She was terrific, and she was even in foul trouble. So when you think about what she could have maybe done if she'd been able to be on the floor the whole time, that's a little bit scary. Going to be a terrific matchup of great players tonight.
Again, also in double digits, Kendra Sheets, Faith Fry, and Tessa Tonkel all scored in double figures. Columbia City was just shy of 50% from the floor. They were 7 of 15 from three-point range, but they also were fantastic from the line. 22 of 27 in the game today was Columbia City, and they did play the early game.
Yes.
So they have the longest rest period you could possibly have. How big of a factor in the cap of Amy Shearer is that for tonight's game?
Well, I think that, you know, for both teams, your adrenaline's going to have to kick in, and it's a championship game. So, you know, there's no question you might have to catch your second win. You might have to go to your bench a little bit earlier than you normally do, but players are going to play, so we'll see if that makes a big factor, but I can't imagine it making a big enough factor to determine the outcome of this game.
From a scoring standpoint, Baxter is their leading per game scorer at 18 points a contest. Sheets at 12 points a game. Molly Baker, 11.5 points a contest, and Tessa Tonkel, a little bit over 8 points per contest. And in terms of three-point shooting, Tonkel 45%, Baxter 46%. Neither of those two shoot a lot of threes, but very effective when they do.
Yeah, they're very selective, and when they do take shots, they knock them down at a very high percentage. One of the things that we'll see how Jennings County is going to defend that, because you know, if they go zone, you can't let them stand out there and shoot.
Now for JCP, and kind of much like Indian Creek, it is a three-headed monster for the Panthers. Molly Ernstus is actually the leading scorer. She is a sophomore, and of note, she's 5'11" and shoots 43% from three-point range. She's being introduced as we speak, but you touched on it. Jaw-dropping numbers from Julian Woodward. 6-foot senior head of Michigan State, 15 points, just shy of 10 rebounds a game, but also can kind of play that point forward role for assist to contest.
Yeah, she's a stat stuffer. She had 6 assists, 5 blocks this afternoon to go along with a couple of steals, and that's beyond the points and rebounds that she gets night in and night out.
And frankly, Woodard is a Miss Basketball candidate.
Yeah,
so
she is.
the biggest element of that game coming up on Wednesday, and then the subsequent sectional a month later, is who advances between the teams, BNL and Jennings County. It also is a big deal for Miss Basketball because of Spreen playing at Bedford Florence as well.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of great games come tournament time with great players from the state.
So this game moments away from tipping off. We thank you for spending part of your Friday night with us here on the ISC Sports Network. By the way, David Christian, Chris Harrow, Daniel Torek, our three-man officiating crew for tonight's contest. Woodard will jump at center for Jennings County. Molly Baker has the honors for Columbia City. And tap stolen by Columbia City.
Literally.
Woodard won it, but out of the gates flying is Addie Baxter with the first bucket of the game.
What a heads up play by Addie Baxter.
And
awesome.
then Baxter all over the passing lane. Nearly knocked that away from Ernstus. And this Jennings County team, number 3 in the Sagarin ratings, number 5 in the coaches poll, number 7 in the AP poll.
Well, you can see right away what is Columbia City going to do. They're going to pressure, and they're going to get up in your face. You've got to be able to handle that constant pressure.
Much like Columbia City, their lone loss was to a non-4A team as Woodard got that to go. Lone loss for Jennings County came all the way back in November the 4th. They lost to Hamilton Heights, a team that you know very well. Heights beat them by 8. For Jennings County, this is a somewhat familiar path for their fan base. Their boys team played their first semi-state game in 25 years in this building in March. Gave a fantastic account of themselves, falling in a close win to Brownsburg in the morning game here at Newcastle. Trying to get Ernstus in motion, but Columbia City had the turnover and just couldn't hang on to it. Good Kendra Sheets.
It'll be interesting to see what Columbia City does to negate Woodard. Nice
on
play.
The bucket, shot is good. Basket goes for Olivia Elmore. Elmore, a 5'8" senior, 13 points and 5 rebounds a game.
Heads up play by Elmore. They overplayed her cut coming off that screen, so she just read it, went back to the easy bucket.
Again, Columbia City, bit of an undersized team that's going to space you, try to knock down shots. Again, they used pace to their advantage against Indian Creek earlier. on the runner. Shot no good. And again, Woodard gobbles up the rebound, leads the break, and that will end up being Jennings County ball as Madeline McIntosh couldn't hang on to it, but it deflected off of a Columbia City player.
Well, you can see right away Jennings County trying to get the ball into Woodard as much as they can.
And Woodard eventually turns it over. First giveaway by Jennings County. And the Eagles flying down the floor. Spot up three is good. Faith Fry, the triple. She went 3 of 6 in the morning game. Knocks her first one down. Columbia City the lead 2 minutes in.
Pure shooter, you cannot give her that much space. She had plenty of time to get that shot off.
In 7 of 15 was Columbia City in the morning game. It's Columbia City team number 7 in the coaches poll, number 3 in the 4A poll. Sagarin had them at number 4 heading into the day. Just get rid of that ball in time for a potential 5-second call. Shooting the lane was Addie Baxter. 1-on-none, she'll score it.
Well, we've seen Addie Baxter twice now anticipate extremely well and get in a passing lane, go steal the ball.
Only Molly Baker, taller than 5'9", on the floor for Columbia City. So this is a half-court game. That's pro Jennings County. Ernstus flares 3, no. But, again, you would expect a rebound advantage for Jennings County in this game. Eddie Young, who is a freshman, kept the possession alive, and she'll shoot 2.
You know, you talked about Molly Baker. I'm going to watch this matchup between her and Julian Woodard. Woodard trying to get a little bit of position down low, and Baker just kept getting her arm into her and making her presence felt. And oftentimes you're just doing that to make it so the best player or somebody who can score against you, you're in their head. You're always there just to kind of keep them off balance and uncomfortable.
Young misses from the line. Came into the day 8 of 12 from the stripe. Missed that one too. Woodard on the crash though. Young able to track it down but couldn't hang on to it. So Columbia City the ball in a 3-point lead. Hear the chant of downhill from the Columbia City bench to our right. In other words, attack. And with Woodard pulled out, Baxter went to work, but just couldn't finish. And Woodard done a great job of instigating fast breaks on that rebound position. Step back from 15.
She likes that step back. Keep an eye on that. She uses that forearm just to create some space.
Had the chance to watch her play in the junior all-star games against both Kentucky and the Indiana seniors. And frankly, in the game against the Indiana seniors at Cathedral, Woodard was fantastic. The Indiana juniors were dominant in that game.
Yep.
Taken away. Turnover by Columbia City. And Woodard will lead the break. She'll call her own number. Only problem when she takes that shot is she's not down there to rebound the ball.
Yeah.
But she can clearly make that jump shot. Step back. 2 is the call. 2-point basket for Sheets. Sheets, one of the few players that struggle not to score, but just with their jump shot in the morning session.
Yeah.
She was 3 of 12 from the floor. And again, one of 3 double-digit per-game scores for Columbia City.
Kind of a little natural trap down on the baseline. Columbia City stays with whoever they're guarding. They don't switch screens, they just kind of fight through those.
Good move, but wrong piece of real estate. Just up to the baseline, did Young. For Jennings County, Haven Belding will check in. Young will have a seat. Columbia City, a substitution as well, as Lainey Ziliak will check in. Lainey with 3 points in 50 minutes in the morning game. Catch and shoot 3. A little too strong, but good long rebound by Baker. Baker blocked. That was swatted away by Elmore. And frankly, Elmore not one of the taller Jennings County players, but was in the absolute right position.
Yeah, came from behind and got a good angle on it, so good clean block up top. Columbia City, not only are they trying to get downhill, but they also do a little basket cut, trying to get somebody going easy to the basket.
Well, Baxter looking for a window of opportunity. McIntosh did just enough to get in the way, but then Columbia City picks up full court trap. Columbia City averaging 64 points a game. Their opposition scoring 37. And they got out to an early lead and just kind of kept Indian Creek at bay the entirety of the morning game, winning 75-69. Pull-up shot does not go. Rebound corralled by Baxter. Baxter was a rebound shy of a double-double this morning. And her shot blocked by McIntosh. For this Jennings County team, best teams they have faced so far this year. You mentioned former 3A #1 Hamilton Heights. They played in that Brownsburg event as well that Columbia City did, and they beat South Bend Washington in that game, winning by 4 to the Panthers. Ball stolen away by Jennings County, and then a foul. Sheets commits the foul for Columbia City.
Good defense on the drive there. We saw Columbia City have its way this morning getting to the basket against Indian Creek, and that's why they were able to hit such a high percentage. They were either getting layups or they were kick out threes where they were wide open.
Woodard, tough catch, but ball goes right to the hands of a teammate as Belding got it. And if this game's allowed to be played in a more physical way, I think that's very pro Jennings County.
Yep.
Look at spacing, fantastic. Shooter waiting to rattle it home in Ziliak.
Yep, all you have to do is stand there and when you penetrate, if you help from the inside or outside in like they did, that means the shooters on the outside are going to be wide open.
Pace and space, that's the common phrase these days in the modern game, and Columbia City is built for that type of game. Foul going to be called against Kendra Sheets. It's to be her second. 8 players played in the morning game for Columbia City. They had a total of 27 minutes played off the bench in the morning contest. They're going to say that foul was actually on Ziliak. Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say that wasn't. They got Ziliak coming over on the help.
Frankly, that's a benefit for Columbia City.
Both teams just playing hard-nosed man-to-man.
Great pass by Woodard. Belding misses, but Woodard had it. Equally good play by Baxter to go get it.
Great pass.
Feed, Baker lays it up and in. Man, Baxter's fun to watch, isn't she?
Yep, no-look pass down the lane, saw her teammate wide open for an easy bucket.
Baxter was a rebound and 3 assists away from a triple-double in the morning game. 31, 9, and 7. And Columbia City brought a fantastic student crowd for tonight's game. That is so good to see. 3, corner earns to snow. Guess who? Woodard put back. No one will outwork Julianne Woodard in tonight's game.
No, she plays at a high intensity level.
And that'll be a foul for trying to play through the screen from Olivia Elmore. But there was plenty of fouls to give. And again, I find myself using more NBA and WNBA terminology with now the new rules when the fouls reset at the end of every quarter. So frankly, Jennings County has a couple of more fouls to give here if they want to.
Yep.
Clock is on your screen. I'm not sure Columbia City recognizes it. They do now, and shot was partially blocked. Columbia City asks for a foul. They will not give it. A rapid opening 8 minutes that benefits the Eagles of Columbia City. They lead by 4. It's a championship game of the Hall of Fame Classic. You're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
the home of Hoosiers,
where legends live.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house
and basketball courts in every park.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
family
and friends
and team
and fans.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
memories
and history
and future
and hope.
Basketball
lives
here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
I acknowledge we're in Newcastle. All the signage would tell you that. I'm not sure you need for me to reinforce the greatness of basketball in Henry County when you just heard Steve Alford talk about it on the spot. Yeah. But because they asked me to, take your shot in Henry County. Basketball destinations and so much more. Visit hoopsandhenry.com for trip planning ideas. Coach Alford's Nevada Wolfpack, pretty good team this year.
Yep.
And if you want, I could take you to Steve's boyhood house. It's about, 10 blocks away from Newcastle Chrysler High School. Greg Rakestraw, Jane Schott with you here on the ISC Sports Network. 4-point lead for Columbia City. Woodard couldn't get through the screen. Jennings County turns it over, therefore. Baxter on the bounce. Her attack is unrelentless.
Well, she is unrelentless because she plays at that high level. She just kind of one of those Energizer bunnies that just never stops.
And I believe that just put her in the 1,000-point club.
It does.
By the number of signs that I see. And 3 seconds in the lane called against Jennings County.
Well, gives her crowd a chance to celebrate her. You can hear the crowd chanting Addie Baxter. Nice way to commemorate her 1,000th point.
On the drive, scoop and score by Sheets. Sheets with 4. And largely the game now belongs at 9 to Columbia City. Eight made field goals so far for Columbia City. Woodward blocked, but goes back after it and one. Well, the block shot allowed her to pad her rebound total.
Boy, just a great little lesson within that. She goes up, she gets blocked. She could have, there might have been some contact, no call, keeps playing, gets her offensive rebound, now gets 3 points instead of just the 2 that she would have gotten in the first place.
I drug you down into the bad grammar hole with me. I meant to say unrelenting was how she played. Or relentless, not a combination of the two.
And I went right on you, man.
Well, you're a chemistry teacher, not an English teacher.
That's right.
Woodard got that to go. She's got 9. And a timeout going to be taken. A 30-second timeout going to be called by Jennings County. So let's go back to that big bucket in Baxter's career.
Yeah. And fittingly that she took it to the basket on a drive. She gets 1,000. It's a big game, though. You don't have time to sit and celebrate. Everybody kind of cheered, went crazy. Luckily for Columbia City, they got a 3-second call against Jennings County, so everybody at least got to clap a little more.
Baxter sitting on 6, and the cool part about it is normally, you get that game ball for your 1,000th pointer if you break the school scoring record. Addie may say, hey, listen, the Hall of Fame is just across the parking lot.
Yeah,
why don't I donate this ball next door?
Yeah, that's right.
And by the way, may I point out, the flags have never looked better at the Basketball Hall of Fame because the first one you see says Lanesville on it. 18-13 is the score. Columbia City, the ball in a 5-point lead. On the drive, shot does not go. And again, it's been allowed to be physical going in both directions in this game. Good take by Elmore. She gets hit on the way by. Love the sportsmanship by Columbia City to help her up. And Elmore will shoot 2. So that is the second foul on Sheets. We thought maybe she had one earlier. Elmore on the season, 88% from the line.
Both teams going hard to the basket.
It wasn't on the block by Baxter. That was clean. It was kind of on the blow by there. But Sheets picks up her second. As a team, Jennings County 72% from the line. Elmore connects on them both. And we're back to a 3-point game. Before I can finish the sentence, good look from 3 that does not go. Woodard the rebound. And when she gets trapped, she used that as a chance to make it a 4-on-3 game at the other end. Well, it is certainly possible that this is a preview of the 4A state championship game. Now, there's many other teams who would like to have something to say about that. Lawrence Central immediately comes to mind. The current #1 team. Step through by Woodard and scores. She's got 11.
Nothing's been easy, though. All 11 points have been contested.
Take down the lane a little too strong for Columbia City. Elmore looks ahead. Woodard, nice catch. Couldn't finish through contact, and again, they're letting him go. Baxter, great feed, but layup left short. Anissa Tunkel couldn't get that to go. And Jennings County will slow the pace a little bit until the lane opens up. Offensive foul to call against Elmore. And that is Elmore's second foul.
Both teams are drive to the basket, so there are opportunities to take charges.
Riley Byford in there for the first time for Jennings County. Sophomore, 2 points and 3 points a game. 2 points and 3 rebounds, I should say. The takeaway, Sheets the bucket. She's got 6.
Well, they're letting them go to the basket, and if you don't, if you're just kind of flailing in there and trying to draw a foul by falling, they're not calling it. They're letting it go.
Columbia City out-rebounded by 7 by Indian Creek earlier because of Wiseman's size. That's understandable. Expect the rebounds to be a bit more even in this game. Woodard turns, dishes, shot missed, and then they're going to get Woodard on the contact, going after the loose ball.
That's a nice ISO play for Woodard to take it to the basket. The help side came over. Unfortunately for Jennings County, Olivia Elmore just can't get the easy basket to go down.
So Elmore misses. She's got 4 points. Byford goes right back out for Jennings County. Foul on Woodard is her first. Just 5 out motion offense for Columbia City. On the drive, and offensive foul. Camped out waiting that time was Elmore. So turnover committed by Columbia City, and is their 4th of the game. Lead was as large as 8 for the Eagles. Three, Ernstus, yes. Her first bucket.
Little flare screen to free her up, just enough. She doesn't need much time to get the shot off.
Because she's 5'11", because Woodard at 6 foot can see over that defense. I'm not sure how you guard that shot, Coach.
That's a tough one. You definitely want to go over top of that flare screen. We'll see. I didn't really see what Columbia City did. That got screened off.
3 does not go, and Ernstus tracks down the loose ball. Chance for Jennings County to hop back in front, haven't led since the early going. Ernstus makes back-to-back buckets, and now a timeout coming for Columbia City. It is a full timeout. We'll step aside with them. Halfway through the second quarter, they got to go into Newcastle. Actually, they have changed their mind. Sorry about that. It was going to be a full, but now it has been changed to a 30. So let's keep it right here. Take a look at the last 2 buckets by Ernstus for Jennings County.
Well, you see that they went under the screen, tried to switch it, didn't get the switch quick enough, gave her enough time to click that off, and then in transition, she just pulls up for an easy jump shot, stay away from all the bodying. Right now, Jennings County in the middle of a 10-2 run. Look for Columbia City to bounce back here. Just get a little timeout, get a break.
This is the first really competitive game that Jennings County has had since that aforementioned game against South Bend, Washington. They beat Columbus North by 26. That has been their closest margin of victory all December, because they beat Lake Central by 38 earlier today. A couple of huge games coming up for Jennings County next week. Thought about the deep 3. Good take to the bucket, but Woodard there to slow that progress, so instead, 3 is let fly, and Faith Fry makes her 2nd of the game. Columbia City seesaws back in front. Elmore wasn't sure what the play call was going to be here. Baxter gave her the lane, and Elmore says, all right, I'll take it. Just didn't connect. Great spacing by Columbia City.
Yep, you can hear coaches saying move, though. There's a little stagnant right now. They're spaced, but they're not getting any cuts.
3 on the wing, left short. Woodard collects another rebound. I think it's safe to expect she'll have a double-double for a second game in a row. Again, she cleared 20 in both points and rebounds in the victory against Lake Central. 1-4 high set here for Jennings County. Beautiful backdoor cut. Ernstus with the left hand. Give it to her, and one.
That was a nice design play. It looks like they're trying to get Woodard the basketball on a double stagger screen away. As she's coming up, Ernstus goes back door. Everyone's looking this way for that backdoor cut to be open on the weak side.
A different variation of the single double just run by Jennings County and worked to perfection. And Ernstus connects.
Ernstus has scored the last 8 Panther points.
And again, she's their leading scorer, not Woodard. And Woodard's a phenomenal player. Shows you the talent that Jennings County has even in future classes. 3, yes. Ziliak with her second make from 3-point range.
Columbia City heating up here in the second quarter from behind the arc.
Great chess match back and forth between these two top 5 teams in the state of Indiana. Woodard collects.
Boy, she almost lost that ball. I'll tell you how good she is. She bobbled it, but found a way. Get that shot off.
And again, there are certain players that immediately recognize, yep, that's a major college player. She is one of them. And Elmore, that was a hard fall. That'll be 2 shots for her, because that's the 5th team foul against Columbia City. Foul on Ziliak will be her second.
Just both teams playing hard.
Not much given this old floor from the early 60s. She'll collect herself for a moment, Will Elmore, and she'll shoot too. Again, 88% shooter. Just trying to shake it off and stay in the game to hit these free throws. The senior from Jennings County. And they were 16-6 last year. And Elmore misses. Understandable after taking that fall. If she hits the free throw, she'll check out. Missed them both. Rebound tipped. Elmore. Ooh. Couldn't get that one again. She's hurting out there right now. Final minute of the half. Lead has been exchanged numerous times here in quarter number 2. Good basket cut, but turning down the 2 for a 3. Ziliak does not get the rebound. Jennings County, let's see if they'll hold for one or they push. The answer is the latter. McIntosh slings it up. Good rebound by Young, but had her pocket picked on the way up.
Baxter is so crafty on the defensive end.
Defender stumbled, but doesn't matter. Layup regardless. Bucket is good for Tonkel, her first. From 40, Elmore, no. And Columbia City will take a 1-point lead to halftime of this championship game. This has been worth the price of admission so far in the first 60 minutes. A momentous bucket for Addie Baxter. Another phenomenal effort by Julian Woodard. 1-point lead for the Eagles as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
If the time comes, be ready. Learn CPR and join the nation of lifesavers. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as the national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
Take your shot in an iconic gym or at a state-of-the-art range. Make a memory in the world's largest high school fieldhouse or at one of the state's best fishing lakes. Experience history at a museum dedicated to Indiana basketball or at the birthplace of a founder of flight. When you travel to Henry County, Indiana, you'll see that basketball lives here, along with so much more. Visit hoopsandhenry.com to plan your visit.
I want to take this moment to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you to Jordan Shue, Alex Laverne. Thanks to Otto and Slash and Sticks on the cameras as well, alongside Jane Schott, Greg Rakestraw with you. And we've seen 2 good games. In the first one tonight, Indian Creek staged a 16-point comeback to get it to overtime, but Lake Central then hung on in the OT to win 51-45. In this one, it's been back and forth the entire time. 8-point lead was built early in the second quarter by Columbia City, but the lead has changed hands numerous times. Last bucket to the Eagles. They lead it 28-27. This has been fun from a fan's standpoint. What about from a coach's standpoint?
Oh, I love it because there's a lot of chess match going on. Right now, Columbia City is finding a way to get to the basket. And the help side defense is coming from Jennings County, but that means kickouts are available, and I've been knocking down shots.
I am such a big fan of playing to what your style dictates, what the pieces you have. Columbia City didn't play a player taller than 5'10", so they space the floor, they share the ball, they knock it down. Yep. Very balanced effort. Baxter, Sheets, Fry, and Ziliak all have 6 points in the first half.
Yeah, that's exactly what you would expect. And Jennings County was able to keep them out of the paint early on, but you just kept breaking them down. So that's why Columbia City kind of came back. On the opposite end, I thought Jennings County was going to go to Julian Woodard over and over again, but then they kind of started to shut her down, doubled her. She became a passer. The Panthers missed a couple layups, but at the same time, they were still able to stabilize and hold on to that lead, because when you shut down Julian Woodard, here comes Molly Ernst, because she was really good late in the second quarter.
Woodard 6 of 9 from the floor, 13 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, and a steal in half number 1 for Jennings County. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with first half highlights and second half thoughts. Again, you are watching the Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic right here on the ISC Sports Network.
If the time comes, be ready. Learn CPR and join the nation of lifesavers. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as the national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
And gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away and he puts it
on. Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
the home of Hoosiers,
where legends live.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house
and basketball courts in every part.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
family,
and friends,
and team,
and fans,
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Memories.
and history.
and future.
and hope.
Basketball
Lives.
Here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the IHSAA Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, podcast, whatever it is. Just call it whatever you want.
Twitter doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the IHSAA Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
Quickly at highlights from half number 1, Columbia City leading Jennings County by a score of 28-27. Again, we reference the balanced effort for Columbia City with 4 players, each with 6 points as a team. The Eagles, 12 of 27 from the floor, 4 of 9 from three-point range. Those are both similar numbers of 45%. In terms of Jennings County, as a team, 11 of 21 from the field, 1 of 5 from three-point range, and 4 of 8 from the free throw line. 8 turnovers for Jennings County, 4 for Columbia City. Jennings County out-rebounding Columbia City 16-11, but just 5-4 on the offensive glass. In terms of fouls, Baxter, Sheets, Ziliak all with 2. Only Elmore has 2 fouls for Jennings County. In fact, the Panthers committed just 3 fouls the entirety of the first half. All right, now let's talk tactics, if you will. What changes, if any, coach, expect to see from either team in half number 2?
Well, I would say, the one thing that's interesting is both teams are playing aggressive pressure man-to-man defense, and you have to because of the shooting ability, but because of that, you've given up a lot of driving lanes. I would guess maybe that they pack it in just a little bit more, if they can do that. I think it's hard because of Columbia City's got great shooters. I think that Jennings County does as well. You kind of got to keep doing the same thing that brought you here in terms of, just keep playing hard. I don't know that either team would have enough in their tank to press, but if you get behind, you gotta do something. So we'll see what happens if they keep trading baskets. I'd expect a very similar second half to what we saw in the first half.
These two teams and everything else the same, so they both leave the locker room at the same time as well.
Yep.
Third quarter action is not far away. Eagles lead it by 1. It's a championship game of the Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic. Back in a moment on the IHSAA Sports Network.
Take your shot in an iconic gym or at a state-of-the-art range. Make a memory in the world's largest high school fieldhouse or at one of the state's best fishing lakes. Experience history at a museum dedicated to Indiana basketball or at the birthplace of a founder of flight. When you travel to Henry County, Indiana, you'll see that basketball lives here, along with so much more. Visit hoopsandhenry.com to plan your visit.
Third quarter action about to commence here at the largest and finest high school field house in the world. Greg Rakestraw along with Jane Schott with you. And again, there are so many gyms that I just relish going to on a regular basis. I'm partial to the Hatchet House in Washington. Big fan of the Lloyd Scott Gymnasium in Seymour. There are frankly so many in northern Indiana that I need to make an effort to go see at some point in time. But there is literally one that takes my breath away because of the sheer size of it, and it is this one.
Yep.
I took a picture from the top when we were here yesterday helping set up for our broadcast the next 2 days, and I simply put, welcome to Indiana. This is a high school gym.
Yep, it is.
And I had a friend of mine, and you know well from playing in the Big Ten, a friend of mine, this Northwestern grad that goes, pretty sure that place is bigger than Welsh Ryan. It might be.
It might be. If not, it rivals it for sure.
So here we go. Eagles the ball in a 1-point lead.
A little flex action from Columbia City right out of the off of the half, trying to get a back cut, the down screen, maybe get an open shot. See how long they stay in this. Right now, Jennings County is cutting off every lane. Looks like they're going to back it out.
The joy of high school basketball. We got shot clocks. We're not going to turn them on.
Yeah.
You can run your long sets if you want to.
Yeah, trying to get a cheap, easy basket. Not a bad idea. I kind of like it. We'll see if they stick with this or if they go to something else.
But frankly, this is about as long of a possession as we've seen from either team in the game. See, both teams have played at a pretty breakneck pace.
Yeah. Kind of look like they're back to their 5-out with dribble drive.
My goodness, Baxter, what a bucket. Baxter not scoring at the clip she did earlier. She scored 31 in the morning game, but still a game-high 8 for the team that is in front. Elmore 8 points, all in the second quarter. And a traveling call against Jennings County. That is their 9th turnover. Columbia City had just 1 turnover in the second quarter. And against a team with the defensive ability of Jennings County, who's holding opponents to 36 points a game. That is certainly noticeable.
They're content just to stay in this flex for a little bit, just get some cuts.
Maybe shorten the game a little bit as well. When it's your second game of the day.
Make Jennings County play defense for a while.
And you're playing against a bigger and more physical team in Jennings County as well. If it ends in Baxter getting that look, you ran the right set. Even though she didn't make it.
Yep. She stepped through and just couldn't get it to drop down.
We've got both benches mic'd, but we have the proximity to Columbia, so we can kind of hear the brain trust talking every time down the floor. Good look down low, and Woodard scores. She's got 15.
Jennings County does a little bit of their own back cut, getting Woodard free for an easy bucket down low.
Good take to the basket. Got past Elmore, just couldn't cash it in. Good Sheets. A chance for Jennings County to seesaw right back in front. Lead has changed 8 times already in this game.
Both teams seem a little more deliberate in their offense.
Woodard turns, bucket. She catches it there, put 2 on the board.
And it was single coverage. No help came from either side. She could quick jumper, turn around. The one thing about her is she does have a jump shot. She gets in the paint, she elevates.
Baxter gets downhill, draws 3 defenders. The save ends up.
Nice catch.
Well, I think I got good hands. I'm not an eligible receiver. My high school eligibility ended about 3 decades ago. Turnover committed by Columbia City, their 5th of the game. I was ready to catch a player in case somebody was going to dive. Thankfully, it was just the basket.
At least she threw it over to us. You never want to throw a turnover to your coach.
No.
You know, that's disastrous.
Ernstus left alone. Great hustle by Woodard. And she didn't get the rebound, but she kept her team in possession of the basketball.
Boy, Molly Baker had a good box out on a good one. Not a great box out. You got to get a great one because Woodard just had that second extra effort.
And we'll see Woodard again this summer on ISC. She's an all-star, no doubt about that. Is she wearing number 1 in that game? That might be the discussion.
Well, we've seen a couple of good candidates today.
That foul goes against Baxter. Her second. And no player has more than 2 fouls in this game. Ernstus, step back 3, no.
Oops.
But McIntosh hustles for it, but couldn't corral it. Out of bounds to Columbia City. And frankly, this is now being played like a postseason game.
Yeah.
The ball is being valued every possession.
Exactly what you want for a championship game. Very well defended. Both teams making plays.
Of course, there are now so many holiday tournaments, but This, to borrow the phrase from the Rose Bowl, is the granddaddy of all in this state. As the rebound poked away by Baxter. Baxter off the window, scoring. She's got 10.
How many times have we seen that today, Greg? She just pokes it away. Defensive, crafty.
McIntosh in a tough spot. Woodard saved it, but not to a teammate. 10th Jennings County turnover. Baker, no. And Woodard snares another rebound.
Nearing her second double-double of the day. We'll see what her rebound total is, but I believe that's her 8th.
Elmore for 3. That was off wide right. Jennings County has not found the rhythm from three-point range just yet. On the drive, shot blocked, but Columbia City gets it right back. And that's going to be a foul against Jennings County. A lot of the volunteer officials have been asking for that foul from a Columbia City perspective, but frankly, they've let them play physically throughout the course of the game. It's been constant since the start. Timeout called by Coach Sigler. We'll step aside as well. Full timeout here. 3:11 left to play in the third quarter. Columbia City maintains a 1-point lead in Newcastle as you're watching on ISC.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
The home of Hoosiers.
Where legends live.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
A giant field house.
And basketball courts in every park.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Family.
And friends.
And team.
And fans.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Memories.
And history.
And future.
And hope.
Basketball.
Lives.
Here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
This is the fourth and final girls game of the Hall of Fame Classic boys event tomorrow. Kokomo and Attucks will play for the first time since the 1959 state championship game.
That's kind of cool.
Brownsburg and Brownstown Central play tomorrow as well. This Attucks team, because of the schedule they're playing this year, has a few games like that. They played Center Grove for the first time since the 40s earlier this year. Baker for the baseline, connects. Molly Baker's second field goal.
We talked about the balance for this Columbia City team. Molly Baker able to step out and hit the jump shot.
McIntosh to tie it, no. And Woodard gobbles up another rebound. Good hands, though, by Columbia City. Out of bounds to the Panthers. As a team, by the way, Jennings County, 38% from 3 on the season. They make over 7 threes a game. They're sitting on 1 through the first 21 minutes of the contest. Tough pass. Ernst tracks it down. For now. Then Ziliak, the foul, which will be her 3rd.
That's that same flare screen we saw in the first half, Greg. They defended it better because they went over top and almost got the steal. Unfortunately, in the tie-up, they said she reached in. Couldn't see it from where we were, but.
Woodard to tie it, no. Good look ahead to Baker. Woodard poked it away. Baxter tracks it down. Found Baker, pinball through several players. Jennings County touched it last. Tonkel will check back in. Tonkel played in the first half. 7 have played so far for Columbia City.
Well, Ziliak's got the 3 fouls.
7 have played as well for Jennings County in this game. 3, Columbia City, no. Fight for the loose ball, Eagles have it. That shot was taken and missed by Tonkel, but then Columbia City gives it away. Alexis Carson will check in next stoppage and play for Jennings County. Just 4 points in the quarter for the Panthers. Young on the drive, no. But ball finds her. And then McIntosh was thinking about the three-pointer she was about to take before catching the ball.
Both teams have a little bit of a miscue on the catch. Those were good looks. But unfortunately, the receiver just kind of took their eye off the ball. One time for Columbia City on this end, the other time for Jennings County down there.
You take opposite the defense. What a feed. Baker, the bucket, the assist to Sheets.
Well, Sheets just did a great job driving hard to the block, drew the help side defense, and passed it at the right time to Baker.
And this is the first time the lead has been more than a possession for some time.
Yeah, I can give that to you.
But Carson had the ball poked away by Baxter. Another steal by Baxter, and Baxter missed the shot.
More than a possession, we got to go back to the 5-minute mark in the second quarter.
Ernstus, my goodness. Behind the back, Jim will pull up and stick it from the elbow.
And it's not going to stay more than a possession long.
That's it. We'll start a new streak.
It was there for a moment.
Elmore just kind of clipped the arm of the Columbia City player. That is the 5th foul of the game against Jennings County. 3 of them been committed by Olivia Elmore. She has picked up her 3rd late in the 3rd quarter. Both teams just 2 fouls in quarter number 3. Good take, but there's Woodard.
Oh, wow.
But then stepped to the baseline trying to save it.
Came from the help side a little bit late, blocked the shot, and was able to almost save the block inbounds. Impressive.
And that'll be a turnover. Nope, won't be. Last touch by McIntosh. We actually had a better view of that from our angle than maybe the baseline official.
Yeah.
Baxter kind of had the chicken wing.
Yeah, she did.
Wrapped around McIntosh, but baseline official couldn't see it.
Yeah. Got away with one.
It's kind of like holding. It's only one if you get caught.
That's exactly right.
Ball tipped away. Of course, my partner is the mom of 2 former or current college football players.
That's
so
right.
she understands that concept completely.
I thought myself, my son August would always say, there's holding on every play, Mom. They just choose to call some of them.
Former starting center on a state championship team at West Lafayette. With some guy that now plays in the National Football League.
Well, that was my younger guy, but the older one who was the offensive, the center, he got to be on state runner-up, but still got to go to state. Impressive.
Pretty good. Reverse layup by Baxter.
Addie Baxter.
Jeez.
If we start talking about something else, Baxter's like, hey, come back to the game, I'm going to get a layup.
She's got a dozen, and Columbia City has a 5-point lead going to quarter number 4. Again, 2 of the top 5 teams in the state. They have played like it tonight. 4th quarter comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network. Back here inside Newcastle's famous field house in the Hall of Fame next door. We talk about our friends at Hoops in Henry County. You have this building, you have the Basketball Hall of Fame. You go to the southern part of the county, of course, you have the world famous Hoosier Gym. And just as we have been the home of this event for the last several years, every April, how about this on the same day? We get a chance to broadcast the Hoosier Gym Classic and the women's induction ceremonies for the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Those happen the last Saturday in April every year, and we are honored to be a part of both of those broadcasts on the ISC Sports Network.
Well, it's a great way to celebrate, and I appreciate ISC elevating women's basketball. I mean, it's a great thing for the girls that are playing it right now. It's definitely a great thing for those of us who got to be a part of this rich tradition. It's nice to have you do that all day for us. Great.
As you well know, good basketball is good basketball.
Yeah, it is, for sure. See what Jennings County, they ran that same play trying to get Woodard down low.
Good look that wouldn't go.
Yep, Columbia City, the first out of the halftime, they didn't get that layout. They didn't get to the block, but this time they did. Made it hard on Woodard. She missed the shot.
Good stop in the lane, have to clear the lane, and doing so in time was Tonkel. Does Baxter take over here in the fourth quarter? She got a dozen. That leads the Columbia City attack. Tonkel open, fires, short. Rebound control. That's Riley Byford. Jennings County going to their bench a little bit here with both Byford and Belding on the floor.
Baxter may be one of the quietest, really solid, great players I've seen this year. All of a sudden you look up, she's got 20, 30, whatever she's got.
Woodard from 15, no, but rebound there, foul I think on the floor before the shot.
It was one of those where it was a bad enough shot, it was a long rebound. Because if you look down low, Columbia City's Tonkel had the position, but the ball just goes over her head. Right into the hands.
And they will say 2 shots.
No, that was interesting.
So Belding will shoot 2.
Yep, I guess it was after. We'll see here. She has the box out, and literally she didn't even jump. Oh, so Tonkel backs into her when Belding shot the basketball, and that's what they called.
So Faith Fry back in, and Issa Tonkel will have a seat. Tessa wears 22, and Issa wears number 14. Belding connects. She was 3 of 4 from the line of the morning game. She's got the only bench points in the game for Jennings County. In fact, they've had just 4 players score. So much of their work is done by Ernstus, Woodard, and Elmore. But here's a little 3-quarter court trap that almost got a turnover, and scratch the almost, it did.
Kind of surprised, I think, Columbia City.
First time Jennings County has shown that today, but then Jennings County. Let's see if this is a foul on Jennings County or Columbia City. It's the latter. It's against Columbia City. It's against Baker.
Yeah, and it looked like
so second foul of the quarter against Columbia City. Ball thrown to a spot, and Byford tracks it down. By the way, Woodard now a double-double, 17 points, 11 rebounds. Baxter not far from it. She's got 12 and 8. Elmore, good take. Olivia Elmore, just her second field goal.
Well, when Julian Woodard is a screener, you're not going to help off, which is exactly what happened, and Elmore got to the basket easily.
Woodard got her hands on it. Out of bounds to Columbia City, and this first kind of look at 3-quarter court pickup, giving Columbia City some fits.
Which you would be a little surprised on that. They're very guard-oriented. We talked about how 5 players are very similar. I think they just got a little surprised. They'll be able to break that if they can get settled in.
Just space the floor, let Baxter go to work, and good things happen. Baker connects. Baker.
Yeah.
She had 6 in the morning session, 8 in this game. Back to a 4-point lead. Elmore for 3. Yes.
Well, they just used that perfectly, because the last time she goes hard to the basket, so they stopped that drive. What'd she do? Pull up 3.
Second made 3 of the game for Jennings County. 1-point game. Three by Baxter. Right back at you.
Nonchalantly, Addison Baxter just says, okay, you're going to take away my drive. I'm going to bust it in your face. Knocks it down.
She's taken 2 threes all day. She's made them both, 1 in each game. Back to a 4-point lead. And that's going to be a moving screen on Woodard. So Woodard commits the foul. That'll be her second. But now it's a 2-possession lead plus the ball for Columbia City.
2 heavyweights just going at it.
I would sign up to see this again in February.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, again, a lot of other teams would disagree with that.
Now,
but
of course.
from the neutral perspective.
But a game like this
would be fun.
Both teams playing good defense, but players making plays. It's exactly what you want to see.
Zone trap in the half court now by Jennings County. Tonkel thought about it. There as they look. Give it to her. That was Tonkel that hit it. It was Fry that faked it. Tonkel connects. And a 7-point lead, and all of a sudden, this is nearly the largest lead of the game. The largest lead was 8 at 18-10 in the second quarter by Columbia City.
That was back at the early, like at the 6-minute mark in the second quarter.
Elmore for 3.
Banked
it in. Elmore with a dozen. And it is a full timeout for Jennings County. We will step aside. Midway moment of quarter number 4. The lead is 4 for Columbia City. Back to Newcastle after this on the IHSAA Sports Network.
If the time comes, be ready. Learn CPR and join the nation of lifesavers. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as the national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
A look inside Coach Sigler's huddle. She is 108-75 in her now 8th season at Jennings County. We've referenced a couple of times, they have a massive week next week. Bedford North Lawrence, that is their white whale at Jennings County. That is the team that has won the sectional that Jennings County has been in for each of the last 12 years. That is the longest streak in girls or boys basketball currently going in the state of Indiana. And then after that, Jennings County just simply plays a team that they might see if they can get past B&L.
Yeah.
A team they could see in the regional or semi-state, Center Grove. That's 2 top 10 teams after playing another one in this game.
The one thing that we've seen, Greg, is the quality of girls basketball has risen.
Absolutely.
And so they're more and more great teams. Very fun. So fun.
4-point game, 4 minutes to play. Columbia City trying to head back to Northeastern Indiana with a Hall of Fame Classic championship in tow. Enough space beginning by Elmore where Sheets can just kind of, I wouldn't say dribble it out, but have to be in a big hurry.
Well, Columbia City content to get the shot they're looking for.
Sheets will take it, and Elmore is hurt. Yep.
That's the leg that, or whatever, when she went down hard in that first half, she stayed in the game, and she obviously has been favoring that.
And she kind of asked for a timeout, and the bench is asking, hey, is that a team timeout? And she goes, no, that's just an injury timeout.
Yeah.
She just needed a moment. She's going to try to stay in there, and you hope of the more than a leg cramp just after you've given your all for a second, game of the day.
Which way are they going to go? They're going to go back to Woodard.
And Woodard didn't get the pass. Baker takes it away. 6-point lead plus the ball. 3 in the corner. No. That would have been a Kevin Harlan level dagger if that had gone down.
Yeah, a little heat check.
Flair to Ernstus. This 3 is wide right. And that's going to be out of bounds on the baseline for Columbia City.
Well, we saw her make that shot early in the game.
Well, really credit Columbia City. They are basically doubling Woodard every time she touches it. And they are making somebody else beat them. And right now, that's not happening.
They're going to trap right now, see what they can get out of it.
Foul against Jennings County, which frankly is not the worst thing in the world. Now, problem is that's Elmore's 4th. But that is just the 2nd foul of the quarter against Jennings County.
Yeah, they've got fouls to give. They need to trap, and they've got to kind of pick up this pace right now. You can't wait too long. There's still time, but you got to start thinking.
It can't be Elmore that gives those fouls. It has to be somebody else. Woodard, Elmore, and Ernstus have not left the floor in tonight's game. Elmore caused the turnover. Yep, didn't get it, but Tonkel couldn't hold on to it.
Good job by Faith Fry to come right over to Tonkel. You look at some leadership out there. She's like, hey, we're good. She pats her on the back. Don't worry about it. I love that kind of interaction between teammates. When something bad goes, there's somebody to pick them up.
Woodard draws 3 defenders, clean strip, but then Young got it right back. Her shot does not go, and Baxter collects the loose change. And late, Columbia City's matching the physicality of Jennings County.
Yeah, they had an ISO for Woodard, but she had 3 red jerseys running at her, maroon jerseys taken on.
The game of keep away has begun for Columbia City. And they've got timeouts to burn if they need them. Full timeout taken by Columbia City. Again, let's step aside. Down to $1:36 left to play. Columbia City 48, Jennings County 42. Back to Newcastle in a moment on the ISC Sports Network. So 6-point game, Columbia City again. They've got 2 fouls to work with, does Jennings County, so you have to be very aggressive defensively for Jennings County.
Most definitely, and you know that it's very, you don't want too much time to go off the clock. You're gonna try to trap. If you don't get that steal, then you can go ahead and foul, because you might as well, in going for the steal, you might as well give up one. Now, you've said it, Elmore cannot be the person to foul. You want her in the game, you can't have her out, but at the same time, the other 4 players have to step up and get those traps. Oh, now they did take her out. It makes sense if you can, as long as you can get her back. Look, she's gonna stay on the sideline ready to go. She can't sit down, she's trying to stay loose. And you gotta get up. Christy Stigler's talking about to Maddie McIntosh, saying you have to get up. You gotta get a count, get that trap right there.
And Baxter gonna make everybody chase her in the building if they have to. And here comes the foul. Woodard gives it.
That took way too long to get that foul.
When in doubt, get the ball in Baxter's hands. It's exactly what Columbia City wants to do. And again, McIntosh gives the foul. Has 1 more to give. In terms of free throws in this game, Columbia City has attempted exactly 0 at this point.
Now you don't want the ball to come into Addison Baxter's hands. Somebody else they should have doubled that so that somebody else gets it, because you don't really want to foul her now. Should go to the free throw line.
And immediately, foul is given. So it's Tessa Tonkel that will go to the line and shoot 2. So Byford commits the foul. So how about this? You're shooting your first free throws 30 minutes into the game. No problem.
Nothing but the bottom of the net. She looked pretty calm and collected there.
Tonkel on the season from the line, came into the day 11 for 11. That is her first miss of the season. 14 of 15 at the stripe. But it's still a 3-possession game. It has to be quick. And frankly, Columbia City has some fouls to work with. Elmore, no. Put back, yes. That's Young, her first bucket of the contest. So 5-point game, Elmore back in, but again, she's got 4 fouls. She can't give the foul.
Well, and she, quite frankly, is hobbling a little bit and can't get there.
So now it'll be 2 free throws for Kendra Sheets. Sheets on the season, 82% from the line. She went 5 of 6 in the morning game. Connects. This is a huge to make it a 3-score lead. Looks like Columbia City may pick up full court here just to make Jennings County take some more time. They don't. They'll drop back into the half court. Woodard's been held in check in the second half, just 4 points.
They're trying to get that flare, and they're covered it up now. You got to get a 3, quick score.
Woodard got fouled, and she'll shoot 2. Baxter has had those quick hands to get steals all night long. She had 4 coming into the quarter. This time, she'll commit the foul, and Woodard will shoot 2. Woodard connects. Tonight's game presented in part by the American Heart Association. In addition to learning hands-only CPR, the American Heart Association encourages schools, businesses, and other organizations to have a cardiac emergency response plan. Free templates and resources are available from the American Heart Association. Simply scan the QR code on your screen. Woodard misses. On the season, she is a 70% free throw shooter. Foul given by Young, and 2 free throws at the other end with 25 seconds left to play. And now a 30-second timeout taken by the Jennings County Panthers. Tonight's game and our games all weekend long in Newcastle, brought to us by Visit Henry County. Take your shot at Henry County. Basketball destinations and so much more. Visit hoopsandhenry.com for trip planning ideas. Jane, what's your overall takeaway from this one at this point?
Well, I think that the one thing that made the big difference, boy, there was a stretch where both teams were just lights out, knocking shots down. But the back-to-back threes by Columbia City, it was a 40-39 game with about 5 minutes to go in the quarter. And Addison Baxter and I think it was Tessa Tonkel hit those back-to-back threes. Jennings County didn't have an answer right away, so that pushed them out by 7, and now it's been Chase the whole time, playing catch up.
Baker on the season, a 63% free throw shooter, misses. These are her first free throws of the day. But again, this is the key one here to make it a 3-score game. Still a foul to give if you're Columbia City. Baker makes this one, she's got 9. Elmore all the way down, tries to find Young, blocking foul again for Columbia City. That's okay. That's your 4th team foul. No shots come from that. Fry, the guilty party. Took 5 seconds off the clock to go from made free throw to the opposite baseline. Young, yes. Caught Columbia City napping, and then.
Well, they were trying to cover up Woodard, so Young just got an easy bucket.
Coach Sigler asks for time. It is a full timeout. Again, we will keep it right here, which is 17 seconds left to go. We'll hang around post-game long enough to get you the trophy presentation for the winning team and the presentation of the tournament MVP and the all-tournament team as well. And thanks to Matt Martin, the Executive Director of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Thanks to Chad Nickham, the public address voice of this event, for their help. Corey Bennett, the Director of Athletics here at Newcastle. Thanks to John Cupo and Jan Bozier, had the morning call for us today on the ISC Sports Network. Thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Jordan Shue, Alex Laverne.
Well, crazier things have happened.
Yep.
You know, so 17 seconds, down 5. Columbia City's got to get the basketball in bounds, first of all.
Inbounder can run the baseline here for Columbia City. And that'll be a foul against Young. That'll be Sheets. It'll come to the line and shoot 2. She's already made 2 here in this stretch. Again, Columbia City did not attempt a free throw until there was a minute 17 left to go in the game. Tomorrow on ISC, it's the boys. Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic. Kokomo and Attucks, Brownstown Central, and Brownsburg. Sheets, no problem. And this is the big one here. Back to a 3-score game. No problem. And again, full court pickup just to make Jennings County take some time. Elmore, couple of efforts, no. Fight for the loose ball. Jump ball is the call. Arrow points to Columbia City. And with 8 seconds left, that will likely do it.
Yeah. Both teams left it on the floor tonight. Hate to see someone lose, but great game.
Inbounds. Jennings County not going to foul at this point. Baxter will take the layup. That will do it. And the largest lead of the game is the final margin of the game. Columbia City 56, Jennings County 47. Columbia City is your Hall of Fame Classic champions.
Both teams really playing hard. Great game to watch. And there's a lot of basketball left in both of these teams.
So Columbia City runs their record now to 14-2 on the season. Jennings County falls to 13-2. This is one that Jennings County, well, they'll be disappointed not to win this game tonight. Again, that they will kind of put this to bed pretty quickly, because that Bedford North Lawrence game is massive for them coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, they faced a formidable foe tonight in Columbia City. So the one thing that you get to take away from a loss is some learning lessons. They're going to be better before it. For
Columbia City, they'll be in action in a league game against Belmont. That game is coming up on Friday. And we'll have the presentation of the championship trophy, game ball, runner-up trophy, and game ball. Chad Nickham, our public address announcer. Joe Lentz is going to help on that effort as well. Of course, Joe, the longtime head coach of both Center Grove and Ben Davis, with the 1996 state championship at Center Grove High School. He is going into the Hall of Fame class this coming April. All tournament votes being tallied as we speak. Turn it over to Chad Nickham.
To the fieldhouse floor as Matt Martin and Joe Lentz presents the game ball and runner-up trophy to the Jennings County Lady Panthers and head coach Christy Sickler.
Tremendous basketball team they have in North Vernon this year. Could easily be seeing them play deep in February.
Again, Chad Nickham will present a game ball and the 2023 championship trophy of the Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic. The head coach, Amy Shear, and the Columbia City Lady Eagles.
They're going to give you a trophy that big. You know it's important. And a ladder is in place to cut down nets as well. And this is a big deal, and this is a sign of things to come. And again, just your thoughts on, again, Columbia City, clearly a bit undersized, but they got plenty in the heart department, not to mention just talent, skill, moxie, etc. How do you see them working their way through the 4A state tournament, Jane?
Well, they found a way to guard posts. They obviously can, overcome their size. They're tough to guard because they've got 5 guards out there. So a lot of teams will have a traditional post that's difficult to guard all those guards. They played it very well, got great contributions. You talked about their balance, and they showed a lot of toughness and grit tonight.
So pictures are being taken. And now we will go forward with the presentation of the all-tournament team. And with that, let's turn it back over to Chad Nickham for that presentation. First, a showing off of the trophy to the fans that made the trek down from Northeast Indiana tonight.
And now at this time, if you would, please welcome from Johnston's Mr. Jeff Pope as he presents medals to our 2023 Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic All-Tournament Team, and also the naming of our MVP. Let's welcome the members of our All-Tournament Team. From Lake Central, Vanessa Wimberly. From Indian Creek, Faith Wiseman.
Understandably, with the drive back to Northwest Indiana, Lake Central headed home. But Faith, as you see on your screen, still here. I think she had a good premonition she'd make the all-tournament team. That was wise on her part.
She had a great day.
From Jennings County, Molly Ernstes.
Ernstes in the finale would finish with 10 points, one of 3 players in double figures. Molly had 16 in the morning session win against Lake Central.
Also from Jennings County, Julianne Woodard.
And Woodard, back-to-back double-doubles. She would finish with 18 and 12. But part of the story for Columbia City held her to 5 second-half points.
Yeah, they really.
Also a member of the all-tournament team from Columbia City, Kendra Sheets.
So Kendra Sheets on the all-tournament team. Kendra would finish with 11 points here in the championship game. Make it 12, excuse me.
And now Jeff Pope of Jostens will present the medal for the 2023 Henry County Community Health Hall of Fame Classic. The MVP from Columbia City, Addison Baxter.
So 1,000 points for your career, the MVP in the tournament championship game. Heck of a night for Addie Baxter. Jane, your final thoughts on today in Newcastle.
That's a great day for that kid, but it goes to this team, Columbia City, total team effort. Great day of basketball. You look at those terrific players out there, left it on the floor. Really good showing for not just their teams, but those individuals.
Let's thank two of our great sponsors for our coverage all day long. Thanks to our friends at Visit Henry County. Take your shot at Henry County, Indiana. Visit hoopsathenry.com for trip planning ideas. And NLBC, your life connected. Partner, a pleasure. I don't want you to leave the sidelines at West Lafayette anytime soon, but when you do, I'm looking forward to getting a chance to work with more games with you.
Well, I'm lucky because I get to dabble in a little of both because this is a great hobby, and I appreciate you letting me have an opportunity to sit next to you and call some good games.
Hopefully you and I get a chance to work together again that final Saturday in February.
Look forward to it.
On behalf of Jane and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. We'll do it all again tomorrow morning, starting at 11 a.m. for the Boys Hall of Fame Championship. Columbia City, your girls champs. Thanks for joining us on ISC.
Take your shot in an iconic gym or at a state-of-the-art range. Make a memory in the world's largest high school fieldhouse or at one of the state's best fishing lakes. Experience history at a museum dedicated to Indiana basketball or at the birthplace of a founder of flight. When you travel to Henry County, Indiana, you'll see that basketball lives here, along with so much more. Visit hoopsandhenry.com to plan your visit.